Hey, it's here, people. You know what time of year it is. It's the time to start the hoops, the coaches, the players, the fans, getting excited. It's that time of year. I am so excited that we started our practices. Of course, New Jersey always starts late, but that's okay. It's worth the wait. This season is going to be one of the most interesting seasons we've had in a while. Why? So many great players, so many good teams, and then there are things that people forget to discuss, and that's what makes it exciting. Who has lost some things and who has gained some things? Let me give you an example. Neptune, everybody's crowning Neptune. Neptune lost a very important player in Samaya Allen. She was the anchor to their presses. She was a major college player. She was a great defender. She was a third scorer. Samaya Allen is going to be very difficult to replace. The question is, who's going to replace her for Neptune? Hey, look at St. John Vianney, for example. Who'd they lose? They lost Managrasco. That's a big loss. But remember, they lost Managrasco last year in the middle of the season. They have learned to play without her. And then, of course, they have added that great freshman class. That class is tremendous. And then you look at the improvement of Lindsay Rowe and Kat Egan. Dawn is walking around with a very, very, very strong team. And you look at teams like Rumson. They lost Yacarino. I mean, Yacarino is very underrated. She was a kid that defended, that rebound, who was in Coach Solis' system for 4 years. These kids are very difficult to replace. Now, of course, you get to gain some things along the way. No doubt the twins at Rumson are two of the most improved players in the state, not just the shore. They will give him an added dimension this year, scoring and kids with a tremendous amount of confidence. Then you look at St. Rose. Hey, Sweeney. Sweeney was one of the best guards in the Shore Conference last year, bar none. She had an outstanding year. Alex Hall, another tremendous player. Who's going to replace these two kids? Is it Ellie Masonis, who words are she's off to a great 3 days of practice? Hey, maybe she steps up and performs well. But what about Casey Chambers and Sam Clark? Those two surely have improved. So you've lost players and you've gained things. I look at, for example, Point Borough. Kelly Hughes is 3 inches bigger, 15 pounds heavier. She's a factor. But don't forget, now they have to beat Manasquan in order to call themselves the Kings. Michaela Mabry, Caitlin Flattery, 2 pretty darn good players coming in that division. And I remember this prediction. I believe Michaela Mabry is going to have a 50-point game this year. And then you look at schools like Homedale. They lost Monterelli, they lost Diekman. Who's going to replace them? Those are really, really seasoned and talented kids who are no longer with the program. These are all the things that all these coaches will have to figure out before the season starts. Are you changing your style? Are you playing faster? Are you playing slower? Are you a defensive team? Are you a pressing team? Are you a fast break team? All these things have to be decided by what? Who's gone? Who's come back? Who's improved? And who hasn't improved? So this year, across the board, is going to be very, very, very interesting. For me, I think it's a 5-team horse race. Rumson, in no particular order. Rumson, St. John Vianney, Neptune, Middletown South with the great Megan McGinnis. They are, without a doubt, factors. And then the sleeper team, Jackson. Now, why do I call them a sleeper team? First of all, you've got Krista Evans looking about as good as she's looked ever in the preseason. Then you got an improving Stephanie Mason, and then of course you have a future rising star in Hannah Misery. See, those 5 teams should put the fear in everybody. But look, all of these teams have a chance to be successful this year because we don't know who's coming from where and who's going to be a surprise. I just think it's going to be fun, it's going to be interesting, and like all Shore Conference games, highly, highly competitive. I hope we get to see all these teams have successful, safe, and happy seasons. Tiny Green here, the Hoop Group.